Yep.
Yep, that's right. As you know, my face is incredibly bright because of the sun that is not in my eyes, but just like glaring from behind the curtain. Excuse me, jeez. But yes, we're recording this at around 3:15 in the middle of the day. That is in mine and Taylor's time.
2:15 for me.
Yeah, but apparently my mother was supposed to be here by about 2:30ish or so because she had a new couch. But however, she's running very, very late, so I have no idea when she's coming back. But anyways, until she comes back, welcome to episode 38 of the NASCAR Pit Stop Show. As always, your host, Mr. Elijah Leonard. To my right, that is Zachary Taylor, and to the bottom, that is Wyatt Walker.
Hello.
Hello, indeed. So, man.
Hello, my friends.
Flans.
I said friends.
I heard flans.
Well, that's probably Taylor. Anyways.
Jeez.
I think we need a ghost distractor for Wyatt's room.
Alright, so let's get on down to business here. We're just gonna jump straight into this weekend. What the heck? What was this weekend? It was dramatic at best. You had some pretty aggressive racing in both series. And at the end of the day, we had some drivers who we kind of knew were gonna win anyway. But aside from that, good racing. Any thoughts to add on to that?
Yeah, and a whole lot of shows. And a lot of shows.
Right. Lots and lots of shows, man. The thing that really sticks out to me most about the whole weekend, still, this feels like the ongoing rivalry of Kevin Harvick and Chase Elliott. Man, I was actually invested in that. I was so invested in that, and by gosh, holy crap. Harvick may have made it even, but he paid the price for it.
This is probably one of the most surprising things that happened at the ROVAL.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like we all knew, we don't call it a wild card for nothing. Just like, yes, it's a road course. Yes, the same people basically win it all the time. But if you think about it, it's what happens during the race makes it like a wild card.
Yeah.
Not today. I'm sorry. Last weekend, when we were at the ROVAL, I messed up that intro, but you know get what I mean. But this week we had, like you mentioned, Harvick and Elliott running into each other again. Apparently, Harvick intentionally got into him, and I don't know what turn that is. Turn 6? What turn is
it was turn 6 before going into NASCAR 1. I know that.
Yeah. And the caution, I don't think the caution came out for him. He kept going. He just kept caution for like stuff in the back. The caution didn't come out, did it? I don't remember.
I don't remember either, to be honest with you. I really don't.
Well, he went to the pit road. They got fixed. Caution came out when it flew off. But anyways though, and he dumped him. Elliott's like, when you see him, you wreck him.
Right.
Caution came out to go bundled up. I'd say about 20 laps later. About 20 laps.
I'd say so.
About 20 laps later, Elliott catches up to Harvick because he's trying to get points to get above the cutoff again. Harvick apparently got intimidated by Elliott, and he locked up the tires and went straight into the heartburn turn, ending his playoffs hopes. Sean, Anyways, screwed his chances of getting another championship.
Right.
And that apparently went wild for everyone. And apparently he didn't make much friends at the track too. If you listen to Radioactive, Blaney was kind of happy about that. At the end of the race, Kyle Busch made a comment.
Right. Man.
But how about the winner though?
Mm-hmm.
How about the winner? Kyle Larson, from both him and his teammate Bowman having electrical issues.
Right.
Bowman, they both ended up getting a top 10 finish. Bowman got 10th, and then Kyle Larson won the race.
I was actually kind of surprised by that. I thought, to be honest, that was something that Larson especially wasn't going to rebound from, but he did.
And at one point, he was below the cutoff.
Yeah.
The driver who was the most dominant this season was below the cutoff at one point.
Yeah. Man.
That's huge.
Man. Hey, Taylor, you got anything to add?
Well, just talking about Larson there, kind of what I got flashbacks to when Larson won was when Chase Elliott went flying into the wall going to turn one and came back and won. I kind of remember that when Larson came back from his problems after being buried in the back and coming back to win the race. But and the Harvick Elliott rival continued, and of course Harvick wrecked himself in the process of doing it a few laps later. But man, the ROVAL was most definitely a wild card race for sure.
Right. It really was. I mean, I'd say especially the same thing for Xfinity. I think one thing that really sticks out to me, well, two things really that stick out to me, is that, I mean, freaking Ty Gibbs, man. He really needs to understand that in a situation like this where he has nothing to lose, he doesn't need to race incredibly hard with other drivers that do have something to lose, like a championship hope with Harrison Burton. That to me was just completely unnecessary. And
that's a teammate.
It is a teammate. It is a teammate. And then, like,
which by the way, I actually looked up. He's not this weekend, so you're happy. So be happy about that one. Anyways,
I am happy about that. I'm happy that he didn't win. But the second thing,
he's not in this weekend.
Well, hey, either way, he didn't win, and he's not here this weekend. So, but anyways, the second thing that really stuck out to me was Jeb Burton. When he got eliminated, he was interviewed, and he was like, "Oh man," he was battling Harrison. He was like, "Oh man, I could have wrecked him, but you know I have much more respect for him than that, you know, because he's my cousin. I don't want to take him out. You know, he was the faster guy." So I'm just like, I was thinking to myself, if he actually took him out to move on to the next round, that would be an interesting conversation.
From the Burton family, because they're, like you mentioned, they're cousins. But here's my thing. I wonder how the fathers would react to that.
I know, man. That was
just like you have four Burtons fighting amongst them, and it's Ward and Jeff trying to defend their sons, and then you got the cousins about to fight.
Jeez, oh,
each other.
I know. But alrighty, let's move into the grading portion because my mom just got home. Real quick, Zachary Taylor, if you could give this weekend a grade from A to F, what would it be and why?
Taylor?
Uh-oh.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, Josh, hi.
Well, I think with all the intensity and hard. Wait a minute.
Are you lagging?
I think he's lagging.
I think he is.
That better?
You're loading
No,
screen.
your screen's loading.
Can't see you yet, but we can hear you.
All right.
Hold on.
Well, then I
Speak-
suppose.
Speaking of hearing, oh, there we go. Speaking of hearing, you may want to turn your mic up a bit, Josh.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of that,
that better?
yeah, it sounds better. But
Right, cool.
while you guys can go ahead and round table grading, I'll be right back. I gotta go help my mom.
Alrighty.
All right. So where you left off, Taylor? If you could give this weekend a grade, what would it be and why?
Well, I think.
And yes, I took over.
Nah, I'm taking over now. I'm just kidding. Okay, no.
I'm the new king.
Anyways, well, anyway, getting back on track here before we get even more out of control. Tell you, with all the craziness that happened at the ROVAL, just hard, aggressive racing, and with everything that happened, and tell you, I think this weekend for the ROVAL is going to get an A from me.
Mm.
All right, Josh, you're next.
Okay, so obviously, like we know, the ROVAL. I don't know. In 2018, we had the moment where everybody piled up in turn one, and then there was that crazy finish. 2019 had Chase Elliott going off at turn one and then coming back, winning the race, and then celebrating where he went off. Last year didn't really have the moment, I think, that people are going to remember it for, but people are going to remember this one, I think, mainly for Harvick and Elliott deal. But
Oh, yeah,
just remember
definitely.
the whole weekend. So this race actually had the ROVAL moment, I guess we could call it. That last year, although last year was a good race, last year did not have that moment. But overall, I thought it was a fabulous weekend of racing. I'm so glad they made this move to the ROVAL. It's one of the best moves NASCAR has made in, I would say, the last decade. So I'm going to give it A pluses all around for the Charlotte ROVAL.
All right. Now to your temporary host, I should say before it gets back.
He shows up like 5 seconds later, say, "Okay, I'm back."
And then the next thing you know, I say temporary host, and then tell the corner, you ain't the host.
Gee, that didn't last long.
No, me and him always have. If you've seen past episodes, me and him always like joke around sometimes about all that. But my perspective, you guys named a lot of it. We had really great racing, and like I mentioned, they don't call the Charlotte ROVAL a wild card for nothing, and it's not because of the winner, like who wins stuff. It's because of what happens on the track that makes it a wild card. That's the beauty of the wild card track, and just like you mentioned, we had. First of all, you mentioned that the Harvick and Elliott incident again. And this time, one of them paid the price. Harvick eliminated. Elliott went through. And here's the top on that I mentioned earlier. Well, Taylor heard me mention it earlier. But Larson came back, him and Bowman came back from electrical issues. Get a top 10, both of them, and Larson won it.
I picked him
Unfortunately, Bowman didn't make. Huh?
I picked him too. I picked Larson to win last week.
I picked him too. I think all three of us picked him.
Well, we may have, actually.
Yes. So, and And we knew how good Larson was, but we didn't know he would bounce back from being even below the below the cutoff at one point.
He did what Elliott did in 2019, and he did what Harvick couldn't do at Martinsville last fall. So, kudos to him.
Yeah, that's why I'm giving this. I'm backing you up, Josh. A+.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. I would say that the Cup race, in terms of like how races have been this year, I would say the Cup race is probably the third best race all season, at least in my opinion. Probably got, I don't know, for number one, it's a toss up for me between the Southern 500 and the Bristol Night Race, but this Roval race was there for me.
Here's the thing. You mentioned that race. Here's the thing that compares it.
Oh yeah.
Both incidents are actually, it's basically Bristol, but road course style. What I say that is, during the close to the end, Harvick and Elliott get together, and who pulls off to win the race?
Kyle Larson.
in a cutoff race. In a cutoff race.
How about that? So we already know what the heck's gonna happen at Martinsville.
Hey,
Harvick's gonna knock Elliott out. That's what's gonna happen.
And then Larson's gonna win and win the championship.
Exactly.
You never know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now we're just waiting for Elijah. Elijah may take a little bit, so he's gonna be helping. But when we come back, we will get Elijah's. We will get Elijah's grade and talk about and go to our topics. So don't go away. We will be right back.
And we're back for episode 38 of the NASCAR Pit Stop Show. As you all know, like I was absent for a solid 5 to 10 minutes, what felt like. So I guess special thanks to Wyatt for kind of carrying the load for a little while.
Hey, first time doing it. It actually felt good.
He did really good, actually. Yeah.
It kind of did, didn't it, man? It did feel pretty good.
Did.
Yes, it.
Then it's just
now I add one more.
Then I guess when it's
Sorry,
when
go
I
ahead.
come back and start hosting and it was like, ugh, this guy again.
So,
no.
well, I just want to give one more thing. I just want to do one more thing of hosting. Elijah, if you could give this weekend a grade, what would it be and why?
First of all, now I know what it feels to be as the host to be hosted.
You've never known it before. You've never ever known it before, have you?
No.
Until now.
A first for everything.
There's always a first for everything. I'd say A+.
Yes.
I'm gonna say that. Because this weekend pretty much had everything. I mean, pretty much everything. It was the wild card. It had the hard racing. It had the revenge. It had the paybacks. It had everything. You know, man. 10 out of 10, A+, 100%.
3 out of 4 A+.
A's all around.
Good week.
All right. So now the temporary host is now going to become a panelist again here, as I'm going to get on down to some silly season news.
You've been demoted.
Damn.
First,
You're back
You've been
down to
fired.
our level. You're back down to our level now.
You're
all
fired.
right. So first piece of silly season news. First piece actually. We'll just go ahead and do this first piece. So GMS Racing, we all knew they were coming up to Cup. They announced it before. We didn't know what driver. We didn't know what the number was going to be. Before we got to this point, Wyatt and I kind of got into a call. We were discussing this a little bit, and he brought up a couple times, oh, it might be Ty Dillon. It might be Ty Dillon. And I thought, well, it might be Ty Dillon, but what if they kind of throw a little curveball and bring somebody up from Xfinity? Well, October 10th was when they came out with the news. Is that it actually was confirmed that it was Ty Dillon that would be driving the 94. Which, yes, I did say it. Number 94. Odd choice for GMS, but you know what? Hey, they go for what they can get. So, I'm going to turn my... I'm going to bring this question over to you guys. First of all, how do you think GMS are going to do in their first full-time season? And secondly, how do you think Ty Dillon is going to do in his first full Cup season back since 2020?
Well, let's break this part down for a minute. Like you mentioned, like when we had our call, you mentioned like Ty Dillon stuff. It kind of made me think because he was scheduled to practice in a GMS car after the race, so that's why I think we were all thinking, okay, maybe he'll go GMS and all that stuff. Then rumors start getting more, and then we were mainly just trying to figure out the number. Like we thought it was like 26 for the longest time. No, it shocked everyone when he came to the 94.
Yeah.
And what I think is going to happen, I think it's going to happen what Trackhouse and 2311 did this season, because they're going to be learning. Ty Dillon, I wouldn't call him a veteran, but he has raced the Cup Series a good amount. He does have experience.
Yeah.
About almost every single track. He's actually, his rookie season, he actually was kind of close to a win with Germain Racing, which is not the best team, but he did okay in it. I actually thought they were going to be for a while.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it didn't happen. But I'd see him maybe get a few top 10s here and there. But I think they'll probably be in like the top 20s,
Roughly.
30s,
Roughly.
like a normal new team would, roughly around that area. Kind of like what Trackhouse and 2311 was. And I say the same thing for Colleague too. No disrespect to like them, they do have a win under the belt, but Haley's still a rookie, and even though he's raced the tracks for Aspire.
Yeah.
He's still going to be a rookie in the series.
Right.
So, yeah. Taylor?
Well, I mean, GMS is going to be interesting to watch next year. And I think the new car is really going to throw a lot of curveballs at them trying to learn. But, I think they're going to have a solid season. I mean, who knows? Maybe they can even pull out a win somewhere. But I think they are going to do solid. But I think Wyatt made a good point there. I think they're going to do similar to what we saw at a Trackhouse in 2311 this year in their first season. But who knows? We'll just have to wait and see how they do.
Yeah. How about you, Josh?
Josh?
Well, I think we could see some good things from them, but maybe not. We're definitely not right out of the gate. I don't think they're going to be like. We're not going to see Ty run like wherever. Suarez finished 5th at Bristol Dirt, I think. Well, wherever
Fourth,
it was.
No, he finished second.
Oh, second.
He
Oh,
finished,
okay.
Was it fourth?
Well,
Either
whatever,
second or
wherever
fourth,
it was.
whatever it was.
I don't think we're going to see that.
I don't know.
And considering, I like Ty Dillon, but I don't really think he's going to do well at the dirt track. But I think he could. I wouldn't put it past him, but because he had that truck experience at Eldora, but that's beside the point. I think he is a solid enough driver where he could contend for maybe a top 10, top 15 here and there, like you said, Wyatt. But for being a new team out the gate, and I don't really think GMS is all that financially stable when it comes to sponsorship at the same time, I don't know. I don't think they're not gonna be exactly. They're not going to be terrible, I don't think, but they're not going to be good either.
Right.
They're going to be right in the middle.
Yeah, somewhat in the middle.
Somewhat. I definitely see.
I don't see
too.
them. I don't see them winning any races. I don't see them really getting a top 5. But
if they get lucky,
maybe they sneak in a top 10. I would not put it past them.
If they get lucky, that's what.
If they get lucky, it would probably have to come to super speed.
I wouldn't be surprised if they end up getting a top 5 somewhere that's not a super speedway. Like, I think the team that surprised us a whole lot was Trackhouse, because how we would think in 2311 was going to throw them out the gate.
Yeah.
Points don't show it, but Trackhouse is throwing them out off the gate. Despite them not having a win, and they do, they're still doing pretty damn well.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say so.
Oh, yeah.
Like it is really clear that, the two teams that started up late last year and then started competing full-time this year, even though they did no races last year, but then came in fresh this year and did sort of well right off the gate, and we're picking off like top 30s for one team, maybe top 20s for another team, and they would just flip-flop back and forth, and occasionally here and there you'll see maybe Trackhouse get a top 5. Let's say the Bristol Dirt Race, for instance, that was actually a really good one for them, and then for, let's say, Pocono, they pull off really good pit strategy. Bubba Wallace in 2311 did that, so hey, I'd say for GMS, they could replicate that, but I don't know if it would be like in the same way, though. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
not the same level as not the same level of hype.
Right. Yeah. All right, so let's move on to some more silly season stuff. This is half of the topics we got here are silly season stuff. So, Rick Ware Racing. Where are they at? They're in NASCAR. They're in IMSA. They're in IndyCar. They're in the Pinty Series. It feels like they're everywhere. No pun intended. But
I like that little segue you did there.
But that's a good segue. Here's another one.
Yeah.
I know exactly where this is leading them.
Did you even know you were doing that segue the first time?
I just improvised. But
that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
But I know where it's going, though. Rick Ware Racing and Stuart Haas Racing are going to have an alliance in 2022.
Avengers Assemble.
Honestly,
Tony is getting ballsy.
Tony really is getting super ballsy. I never expected this at all. I thought Rick Ware Racing was just going to be their own little entity, no alliances at all. They're just going to be like their one game plan. Rick Ware Racing just has a crap ton of money in his pockets where he can just go pretty much everywhere at this point and be somehow competitive. But... the thing is with Rick Ware Racing, like, as bad of a team as they are, as underfunded as they are, you got to give them props. They're there every single weekend. They're doing exactly all that they can to at least make it through every race. That way they can be there for the next one. But this...
And they have
four... Go for it, sorry.
sorry to interrupt you, but they have like 3 to 4 cars every single week.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
unbelievable. And what's
It's
also
amazing.
kind of funny about it is that like sometimes you'll have 2 Camaros, 2 Mustangs, 3 Camaros, and 1 Mustang. But still though. Um yeah, so now with this alliance that they're going to have with Stewart Haas Racing in 2022, do you really think this will benefit the team in any way possible, or do you think it's just going to crash and burn?
here's the where the pros and cons, the pros and the cons place goes to the middle. I say that because we're going to the next gen car.
Yes.
That is that will be our ultimate answer on that one, because in reality here they would still suck. But with the next gen car, and weeks ago, I think a month ago actually, they have like going to have like 2 quote unquote competitive cars. And if
Yeah.
they're having an alliance with Tony, it's gonna be hard to say. Especially especially with the next gen car. So I honestly, I say wait till I say wait till Auto Club. I say Auto Club because Daytona, anyone can win, yada yada yada. But
Yeah.
the competitiveness has to be that will give my answer at Auto Club.
Okay.
So right now, I'm not 100% sure because we have so many factors. But like the next gen, them trying to have some competitive cars and trying to fight the fact that they're still sucking this year.
Yeah.
But yet having an alliance with Tony,
It's
it's
Cody Ware.
all a mix. It's all a mix. So my answer, I'd say wait till Auto Club.
Okay. Yeah.
Taylor.
Well, I mean, you know, Rick Ware Racing is obviously a low-funded team, and they're trying to get better. And I think we are going to have to wait and see, like Wyatt was saying there. But I do think this could help them because they're going to have Stewart Haas engines, and they're going to have an alliance with them. So this could help them. I mean, this could help them start running better and being more competitive.
Right.
And you never know what can happen. So I do think we're going to have to wait and see how they perform. But I think this is going to be a big step for Rick Ware, and this could be a big improvement for him, getting aligned with Stewart Haas.
All right.
Let's just hope Stewart Haas is better next year than they are this
No,
year.
man.
Josh?
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
Josh.
I was just gonna say, if Stewart Haas Racing is as bad next year as they are this year, it's not gonna go well for them, no matter what they try. But see, Rick Ware Racing, I don't know if anybody knows this. I don't know. I don't think a lot of people do. Rick Ware Racing actually has a NASCAR win in the Pinty Series with Andrew Ranger.
Yep, they do.
So, yeah, they actually have a NASCAR win to their name, but it's not like it's not the Cup Series. Obviously, there's still plenty of room for improvement there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. The question is, if they are gonna go down to 2 cars, though, I'm wondering what happens to the charters, and I'm wondering who they keep around.
Right.
Because that's gonna depend a lot, like the drivers in particular. Like, I don't like you have a little bit of extra money if you sold the charters, obviously, or just rented them out, but like everybody knows about, like, oh, Cody Ware, everybody knows, but like I don't know. I think
The
we're gonna
second
have to wait
driver.
until, like, well, I don't know. It seems like that might be a revolving door. Heck, they might both be a revolving door. I don't know, but
Right.
that's gonna be I think I'm with Wyatt on this one. I'm gonna wait till Auto Club. I'm gonna wait at least till we know who's going to be in those cars. First of all, that I
Well, we
think
know. I think. Sorry to interrupt you. I think one of them's definitely going to be Cody Ware, though.
100%. Cody Ware is going to be
Yeah.
there for at least 90% of the races.
and he's gonna crash and burn.
And probably
Just
make
like
us
The
a driver
question
regret
is
their
now.
lives.
The question is now, who's the other guy?
James Davison for the meme.
For the meme. For the meme.
For the meme.
Dude, I mean, honestly, here's the
I
thing.
mean, he's not that bad.
He's not, no, he's not too.
No, not at all. But it's like, it's just like it was memed so much when he was just destroying everyone in the Pro Invitational in
Coda.
the spring.
I was about to
He
mention
was
that too.
Killing
I was about to mention that
everybody.
He
too.
annihilated everybody.
Like Coda, the Chicago Street Course, dude was like ahead by 25 seconds. Nobody even came close.
That's amazing. That is amazing. But dude, I personally,
It might end up. I think that might end up being James.
you never know. Maybe I'm thinking so. But here's the thing.
Or again, it could be a lot of drivers. It could be like 2 or 3 or 4 different drivers. Never know.
Here's my
Smithley.
thing. Here's my thing. I really feel like the other 2 drivers, well, maybe 3, if James Davison doesn't get added in. This is just in case. I'd say probably you put Joey Gase in the 15. I'd say you put Josh Bilicki in the 52, and then the third guy. Oh shoot. Maybe you put somebody like Reed Sorensen in there, or J.J. Yaley. Either one of the 2. But I mean,
I got one more for you. Garrett Smithley.
I forgot about Garrett
Oh
Smithley.
man,
I forgot about him. Jeez, oh Pete.
But they're going to go to 2. But they're going to go to 2 cars. They're planning on going to have 2 full-time competitive. Maybe they're going to have a couple more.
I was gonna say
Just to
maybe
do
they're gonna have a
part-time stuff.
couple
Yeah.
not so competitive cars.
So, but that's my deal on that.
Right.
Like,
Right.
what cars are going to stay? I think 51's probably going to stay. But are they going to keep the 15?
Maybe they'll keep. I don't know. Maybe they'll keep the 15,
Maybe.
but you never know. So speaking of that next gen car, let's go ahead and discuss a few things about it. So they did 2 days worth of testing at the Charlotte ROVAL with this next generation car. I mean, they've still been doing a lot of testing with this thing even before this season started. Like they started like they were testing at places like Phoenix, Fontana, Daytona, Talladega, Dover's another one, Martinsville, a lot of Richmond. That's right. Well, that was the first. That was the first place
they did the Dover and Richmond tests right after. They did Dover right after the double-headed weekend.
Yeah,
last year I think.
Yeah, I think so. And
They did Miami too.
Miami, Charlotte, yeah. The actual racetrack, not the road course itself, up until a couple days ago, the 2 days worth of testing that they did, and there was. I mean, what is very interesting to me is that they did all of this testing way before. First of all, way before the pandemic hit. Well, before the pandemic hit, and then afterwards they pushed it all back to next year. So they've been preparing and testing this thing way before 2022 ever got started. Well, way before it's even started. And another thing to comment about the Generation 6 is that something to note. The only other kind of testing that I know that they did when they first came out with the Generation 6 was preseason Thunder at Daytona. That's all I know. I don't ever remember them doing any sort of testing like at Charlotte or anywhere else with the Generation 6. I heard nothing at all about it.
I think they did. They just didn't cover it a whole lot.
I wonder if that's the case, but I mean, The only other thing that's probably highly covered was preseason Thunder at Daytona. That's
And that's
really
just
it.
because it was on TV.
Exactly.
Like NASCAR social media stuff was not in 2012 and 2013 what it is now.
Right. Exactly. But maybe that's it. I don't know, but still though, it's just like the thing is that regardless of that, I feel like they could have done way better, and they have over the years. They have improved on this car, and they've even somehow, even some cases, deproved on it. But, but, like that's the thing. Like I feel like they're actually doing a good job with this next gen. They're pretty much doing 2 years worth of testing on this thing, and but I feel like they might be this is going to open the door to some really good competitive racing. And also to add on top of that, Corey LaJoie said that the car drove good. Still some bugs they need to work out though. But here's the key thing. This could open the door for smaller teams to be much more competitive next year. So we're gonna see Spire up there. We might see Collier there every now and then. So I mean, just to add a couple of things.
It's sorry to interrupt, but you mentioned Spire. When from the beginning of the show, since like the first episode of the season, I think we talked about Spire. It was around the first episode. You know what I mean?
Right around there.
It's like we talked about Spire. We know that this season was just a test for them. It was just a test so they could be prepared, give notes, get prepared for next year, which Spire, you mentioned it, could end up having a fighting chance.
Yeah. I mean, it's been shown. It's been shown all throughout this year. Every opportunity that they've had, especially with somebody like Corey LaJoie, for instance. I mean, who has been up at the front a few times, and even at some points has had some shots to win. But yeah, really. I mean, I'd say. I mean, with this season being just a test, being basically like one big giant test session for them, they are actually going into this with the mentality of, all right, let's get prepared for next year. Let's get all these notes together, and look where it's pretty much getting them. Without even intending to be competitive, they're being competitive somehow.
That's the beauty of them.
It
and
is.
Don't forget, they have a win. They have one win underneath their belt already, and that was with the current part-time driver of the 77, Justin Haley.
Yes.
At Daytona.
Yes.
Who is going to go full-time next year, which that makes you wonder who's going to go to the 77, do part-time runs for the 77.
That'll be interesting. All right. Josh, Taylor, anything else to add on before I go on to the next topic?
So, about the next gen car, right?
Yes.
So, I did see a tweet, I guess it was a couple days ago, for day one of the next gen test. And Kelly Crandall put a tweet out that said, Cup Series teams received the 2022 rules package on October 1st. For road courses and short tracks, it'll be 670 horsepower with a 4-inch spoiler, as was tested for the last couple days. For intermediates, 550 horsepower and an 8-inch spoiler. Super Speedway is to be announced. Now, for me, like, in my opinion, we already know short tracks and road courses. I would say, based on what I saw, at least from how the road course test looked, those things are pretty freaking fast, despite, like, similar, less horsepower. It looks like these things might have a little bit more downforce.
Yeah.
Well, I say a little bit. They got, like, a couple inches more on that back spoiler, so it's up to 4 inches. That could be, that could be a good indicator there. But we did see Ricky Stenhouse Jr. kind of come around a corner, and he lost it and just looked like he just completely spun out. I've heard that about from several drivers when they said when the car gets out from under you, it's almost impossible to save it.
Right.
Now, if that's the case, then they've brought iRacing to real life. But I digress. If that's the case, I'm pretty concerned, to be honest with you, because like as much as I hate side force being a thing, I do. I genuinely hate having that side force.
Right.
But if that's gonna if we're at the point where the car is what is it that Briscoe said? Or was it Briscoe or was Custer or someone? I think it's maybe a few guys by now. But there's that line. They said there's that line you have to be on, and if you go even a little bit off of that line that you need to run for the car to stay straight, you're gone.
It's kind of like you have to stay in one line, and if you get on the ice just a little bit, you lose control.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes.
So,
There's a fine line you have to be on, and if you go like a little bit off of it, you're spinning out, and you're probably going to go up into the wall. That's the thing I'm concerned about with this car, especially if they're talking about it being like, if they're talking about like just only having a few cars and reusing the cars. That's gonna be if that's the case, there's gonna be a few teams who probably will have a lot of parts to replace when the season goes on.
right.
But if they could keep it straight, I'd say the racing would be pretty good. You know, I say that though, but Jacques Villeneuve did have one heck of a save yesterday, getting back up onto the oval part of the track, the banked turn 1 and 2 area. If you're just running the oval,
Yeah.
he was like this, and then he started hooking up toward the wall like that, and just came inches away from hitting it, and didn't hit it. He got it straightened back out just in time. So, testing that new team from the Netherlands. By the way, that's who he.
Up, there he goes. Oh yeah. Speaking of that other team.
Back where I left off then.
Nice.
So I'm pretty optimistic about the short tracks and road courses everyone can keep straight. Pretty concerned about the intermediates, given the fact that it's essentially going to be the same specs that they have this year, and that Vegas race a couple weeks ago, still giving me PTSD how bad that was. But Super Speedway 1, I mean, if they found a way to translate the package they have right now to the next gen car, I'm not talking about like what we had at the start of the season. I'm talking about what we had at Daytona for the playoff cutoff, or the cutoff, the last race before the playoff started, and the Talladega race we just had. Fine with me, to be honest. But the only thing I'm concerned about is the intermediates. I think a lot of people are going to have that sentiment, but given the fact that NASCAR is trying to get away from them, all right. Well, may not be a whole lot here in the coming years as far as those intermediate tracks go. The ones with the 550 horsepower and the gigantic blade on the back of the car.
Right. But speaking of the team that you were referring to, I think this is it. A brand new team is in town.
Yeah, I could not remember the name for the life of me. Otherwise, I would have said it.
It was. Hang on. I actually do follow them on it.
Hezeberg. Team Hezeberg.
Team
That's what it's
Hezeberg. Partnered with Ram Bros.
And the guy driving for them is a NASCAR Wellen Euro Series champion, Loris Hazeman.
Which, interestingly enough, they're going to run a part-time schedule this year, as they should. But I see them more on the road courses, maybe competing for a Daytona 500 spot. You never know. So, I mean, should be interesting to see how they do. But reverting back on topic here to the next one. There was a tweet that came out per Bob Pockrass saying that NASCAR by 2024 is possibly going to be going hybrid. Any thoughts to that?
I don't know if he's sarcastic or not.
No, I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. If they're, I honestly think I'm surprised NASCAR didn't get on this boat of going hybrid sooner. I feel like if they had started, say, 5-10 years ago, we'd be talking about going fully electric now, which is where everybody from IndyCar to Formula One, maybe even IMSA one of these days, I think everyone's going to start heading in that direction, just because of, motorsport is not, it's not a very environmentally conscious sport. So, everyone's doing work to fix that up, and that's partly why I guess NASCAR is considering going hybrid a couple years down the line with the new engine package that's coming for the next gen car. So I don't know. I'm fine. I'm fine with it. I'm actually more for it if we're talking about technological advancement. I know a lot of like diehards will not be for that, and I get that to a point. I'm not strictly like NASCAR fan. My motorsport taste has diversified dramatically over the last few years, so
Right.
maybe that's why I'm more for this than most. But tell me what y'all think.
To be honest, I'm not really a huge fan of it because there be times where my racing taste buds will diversify and kind of branch out in IndyCar, maybe Formula One, maybe IMSA here and there. But I've mostly stuck to what I know is NASCAR. I've known that ever since I was 2, and I still know that now. And really, to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of it, but I get why. The more that you just explained it, because it's not environmentally conscious. Like it's a lot of gas and a lot of carbon monoxide that's going out into the air. So I mean, there is that. But I mean, NASCAR has tried. I mean, especially with the fuel that they use. But I mean, then again, it doesn't do justice to CO2 going out into the air. But But still, I mean, like, I'm not a fan of it, but I get why they're doing this. Do any of you two have anything to say?
Well, I honestly don't know because like hybrid that's starting to get electrical, and NASCAR's been known to just not be electrical. But I get why, like y'all said, I get why they're doing it. Just I don't know.
Right.
You're
one of the few times.
You're hesitant to change. I understand.
Basically, for me, this is one of the few times you don't hear me like talk about a topic because like I'm usually like I don't know how I feel or how I respond to this. So just I honestly don't know.
Right.
Taylor?
Well, I mean, this would be an interesting move if they do it. I mean, this would be very interesting. And, you wonder what kind of cars could possibly potentially join NASCAR. I mean, you could see maybe Tesla coming to NASCAR if they do this, But what I'm kind of curious about is how on planet they're going to charge these cars during the race.
I'm actually kind of curious on how they would do this, like, because the thing is that I mean we've known for years that NASCAR has it's a fueling system, so it's basically a big tube that's hooked up in the back of the car, and it just you put the gas tank in, and all that fuel goes into that goes into that pipe, and it goes into wherever it actually is that fuel's being burned off. So now with this new change that's possibly coming right within the mid 2020s, I'm wondering how they're gonna actually refuel these cars. Are they gonna put the engine? Are they gonna like? I don't know how they're gonna do this. Are they gonna like take like a battery or something, put a battery in the back of the car, and then put like a charger port in? Like I've got no clue on how they're gonna do this, but I mean,
I think
then NASCAR would have gone downhill because that is just sounds stupid. And speaking of stupid, Sean's here. I mean, what's up?
I forgot what time it was.
oof.
nice job.
Hey, look, you can't blame me for
No,
forgetting about
it's fine. We're just giving you crap.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
can't.
In fairness,
we can't blame you.
You guys
Yeah, we
started
can't-
15 minutes earlier than I thought you were going to.
Yeah, because like I've got some other stuff to do after this.
That's fine.
You know,
That's
just,
understandable.
but yeah. I mean, commenting on that, like I'm wondering how. Which, speaking of Sean, since you just came in, we're talking about NASCAR possibly going hybrid and our thoughts on it. But as far as like back to what I'm thinking, as far as like fueling, I wonder if they're just gonna like have like a big giant like charger port thing where they're just gonna be a wire, like kind of like similar to what you like how you charge your phone, but like gigantified into like taking a charger port and putting into a car. I've got no clue. Maybe it'll be similar to how, like, say you go to an electric gas station to charge your Tesla. I wonder if it'll be like that.
See, so hybrid is not entirely electric. It does have some electrical components in it.
Okay.
Hybrid actually kind of makes it to where you actually burn less gas.
Oh, okay. So basically kind of like say like a
you won't need to refuel as much, basically.
Okay, so let's say Michigan, for instance. Say if you go to MIS, let's say like a single run on a tank of gas. Let's say it's 50 laps. You could go like 10, maybe at least 10 laps longer or more.
Maybe. I don't know if it's gonna change that. It might change more actually, but
It might.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, we'll see.
Personally for me, if that was the case, I would. Well, never mind. I've just beaten a dead horse at that point if I say it. But
if whatever I want to say, I would have people trying to come after me.
Well, go ahead.
just say it.
Go for
Just
it.
say it.
Yeah,
It's fine.
Go for
Mister-
it. You got an opinion? Go ahead and say it.
Yeah, in my honest opinion, I don't like the idea. I downright hate the idea. Like, this is the worst idea that NASCAR's kind of done. Like,
Well, that's
yeah,
saying something.
Well, this is interesting. You got one Texan that's actually all for it, and you got another Texan who absolutely hates it.
yeah, I just downright don't like it. It is just going the whole opposite way of on what NASCAR is stand for.
Right.
Stock car racing, not this electric type racing. If you want electric type racing, you got other sorts of racing series that does that.
Right.
I think Sean's actually was getting more depth than what I was talking about because, like, I think this is the first time ever I'm actually leaning more towards Sean here on this one because this is the way he can explain it better than I can because I'm not really the best at explaining, but that's kind of what I was saying before. Just like NASCAR was not brought up to be like hybrids and stuff. It was like what he said, stock car racing.
Right.
So I think I'm leaning more towards Sean here on this one, and that is so rare. Compared that he picked Harvick to win the championship, and now he's eliminated this round.
Out of here.
What exactly about hybrid makes it less of stock car racing then?
Well, it's the way that you're going to have it be electrified. Like, you have to charge it to do.
Again, I said this earlier. Hybrid is not fully electronic. Not quite. It just burns less gas that way.
Well, that's what. It's kind of like how everyone says it with the current cars of today. And that's really not the best sort of advertising method that they use nowadays.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is kind of interesting though. It's differing opinions. I love it. I love it. It's not like some of those other shows that you'd go find, like a YouTube racing show that you go find and everybody circles a table and everybody's like a yes man, I agree. But no, you got differing opinions. Everybody's got their own opinion. We can discuss about it. I love it. But
Didn't the last time we talked, didn't the last time we actually had an episode where we all had opinions was the road course?
I feel
Was
like
the Daytona road course?
I feel like it was either Daytona Road Course or I've got no clue, to be honest, but it was somewhere around there.
That was a while.
I know.
Referring to.
That was a while ago, but
What is it? Wait, what?
I just realized what he was talking about when he said circle around a table and everybody agrees. I know exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah,
exactly.
we didn't want to be that sort of show. We actually
don't-
wanted.
Exactly. Absolutely. But not like go. Okay, so here's my thing on this. Like I do see what Sean means by this. This completely is entirely different than from what NASCAR has
I'll be back.
always been for the last 75 plus years. But I also do see what Josh is saying, because this means that, I mean, sure, like, it's going to be electric, but not all electric. The cars will be able to burn less gas, so that means we might see longer fuel runs. So, I mean, you know, there is always that, I guess it's like that common denominator or that compromise where, sure, it may not be the best decision, but it could be a good decision at that.
It's a stepping stone to potentially going electric down the road, which I feel like, you know, with environmental regulations, you know, people are starting to really crack down on that. Governments around the world, they're going to have to, I think they're going to have to get there at some point.
Yeah.
Within, like, say, around 2035, I think we could see most, if not every, racing series probably be electric at that point. I know Formula One's already very much on their way. They've been hybrid since 2000. I want to say 2017. I think.
Yeah.
But however
about-
long it was,
I think it's a little bit longer, like 2012, 2013.
it could be.
Yeah, that's what it
I
feels
think
like.
I guess it's whenever that KERS system or whatever it is came along. But I think you know right. You know where I stand because I've said it. I guess Sean knows it too because Elijah said we disagree. But like, I'm not gonna say like I get it. I get it. People don't really like change to something that's been a way for a long time, and I get what Elijah said. Like his taste for motorsport. He said it's been just NASCAR for so long, hadn't really had a chance to like go and I guess look at something else. And I get that. I was that way until 2016 really.
Right.
That was the year where I think my taste in motorsports just it dipped a little bit in 2015, but then 2016 I watched every little bit of racing that I could, IndyCar, a little bit of Formula One when I could wake up early enough to watch it.
Right.
IMSA, NASCAR, I mean, you name it. But I just saw all these other forms of motorsports. Everybody's making the push. I thought, well, yeah, NASCAR's probably going to have to do this at some point. They're probably going to have to, you know, jump on the hybrid wagon and the way to the what am I trying to say here? The path to going electric. I think a lot of people are like, because electrical streetcars don't make a whole lot of noise. Formula E is just, it sounds like mechanical whirring more than an engine sound, and I get that. And I actually wonder if NASCAR or anybody could figure that out, and maybe if when they do go electric, because I don't want to go to a race and just see a bunch of cars going around but not hearing anything.
That just
except like maybe some gravel.
It just really wouldn't sound the same.
It
You
wouldn't.
know,
It wouldn't.
it would sound like
be the
nothing.
same, no.
All you would hear is just going right on by you.
I have a feeling they could figure something out, though.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put it past them at all. If they did figure something out, I'm already for it, like environmental stuff and such. But if they did figure that out, that makes it 10 times better for me.
You're right. All right. So,
Welcome back.
Welcome back. And when we come back, which good discussion. Had a lot of different opinions. I love it. But yeah, when we come back, we're going to be previewing these two guys' states over here, their home track, Texas Motor Speedway, and give our predictions. So don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
Let's get the green flag out for our predictions and get this show on the road.
Exactly right. So we're back for episode 38 of the Pit Stop Show, and we're previewing Texas. So guys, looking ahead to Texas Motor Speedway, what is there to expect now that we are into the eliminator round for both Xfinity and Cup?
Well, it's going to be interesting. It's first time that we have Texas being the first race of this round.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's Kentucky. Not Kentucky, I'm Kansas. I'm sorry. We're on track. I am sorry. I'm not. I hate when it happens. I think
that's not even an SMI
Kansas,
track, dude.
Yeah, I know. No. I hate when this happens. I think Kansas, and then I say Kentucky. I hate this. It's usually Kansas.
It's because
but
you've
actually before.
Well, you've been to both. Never mind.
I've been to both. Yes.
I was gonna say I was gonna say it's because you've actually been to one, not the other, but that wouldn't be true.
But I've actually been to both.
Yeah.
But
my goodness, that's amazing.
But anyways, it used to be Martinsville was the first. Now it went to Kansas. Now it's Texas, and that used to be the middle.
Yeah.
So this is going to be pretty interesting, seeing how well this goes.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Sean?
Yeah.
I know where he's going with this.
Yeah. We're going to Texas. Here we come to Texas. Start of the third round in the Cup Series. Second round of Xfinity. It's really anything can still happen, but the main thing we're going to be seeing is as a potential one or two drivers in both series. Well, one driver from both series could be going to the championship four. Could lock themselves in.
All righty, Josh, Taylor, anything to add on before we get on down to it?
I will say, I was worried when he said because I thought that was going to be a lot more negative than it ended up being. but
yeah, negative. Yeah, negative. Like how negative it was that he thought Harvick was going to get to the final four when he ended up getting eliminated.
That's not what I was talking about.
Why do you keep doing a bunch of this? Do a bunch of that, please.
That's not what I was talking about. But
anyways,
I heard. I think I read somewhere where they were not going to reapply PJ1 to the track. Instead, they were going to use this resin stuff that they had put at Michigan, that they had put at Nashville on the track, which is basically does kind of the same thing as PJ1, I guess.
The awesome sauce.
But I don't know. I guess we can look forward to Xfinity. I think is going to be a really fun race. Cup. I mean, it was spring 2019. It was fine despite the 550 horsepower package. But I don't know. I feel like when they stuck the PJ1 on the track, the racing at Texas kind of suffered a lot. Maybe the fact that they're not reapplying the PJ1 to the track means that we'll actually see maybe a really decent or good race.
Right.
Who knows? We'll see. It'd be a nice change of pace after the last couple years.
All right, Taylor.
All right, Taylor, Jinx blackout.
What? Well, anyways, yeah, Texas is going to be interesting, especially with drivers trying to get their spot, the Final Four locked up, maybe with a win, and who knows what we'll see at Texas. But I think we will see some good racing happen.
All right.
Fingers crossed, because I have tickets to that, and if it's boring,
Oh,
Might as well pack a pillow and some blankets with you, man, just in case.
also here's also fingers crossed that they don't ban coolers.
Oh yeah, they better not.
we're on in.
SMI, ladies, sort yourself out.
Yeah. What he
And I
said.
also want.
Oh man. But alrighty. Let's go ahead and get on down to our predictions. Yes, you already saw the points. I already updated the point standings. So eliminations will not count from the next 2 rounds, unfortunately, because I just was, a little bit lazy on that. But eliminations will count for this round. So, here's how we do our predictions. We give you a driver who we think is going to win. Self-explanatory. The driver who we think is going to be the guy to stay away from is basically the guy who hasn't been doing well the last couple of weeks. The dark horse is the driver who has been doing well the last couple of weeks. If you choose a non-playoff driver, it's 1 point per category. But, since it's round 3, for Cup, it's 15 points. For Xfinity, it's 10. So, eliminations. I will also add on eliminations for this round, for both rounds, all 3 across the board. Trucks, Xfinity, Cup, 8 points per elimination.
Now, this is where it gets to the nitty gritty, because we know we know for the last 3 seasons from each group, we know who was going to get eliminated. We know who was going to advance. Yada yada yada. This is the round of 8.
Yeah.
This is the one where it is more unpredictable than anything else. Like, give last year, for example, I bet every single one of us would have chose Hamlin and Harvick. Excuse me, as the first 2, and Harvick got out at Martinsville.
Yeah. That was insane.
So, this is probably the crazy. This is going to be the unpredictable round. So, this is going to be interesting. I was actually having a conversation with him, early that same day while we were talking about Todd Dillon and stuff, predictions and stuff, early on, just what? Who do we see? And for both series, it's hard.
It is. It really is. But it should be interesting either way. Alrighty, here we go. Josh, you're up first, my guy.
Go, rookie.
All right, so I'm trying to figure out first who. Okay, so the last time Xfinity came to Texas, it was Kyle Busch who ended up winning the race, stealing it away from Dustin Allgaier. on a late race restart. Now in the 54 this weekend is John Hunter Nemechek
Yeah.
for Xfinity, who won the truck race that weekend. I would say John Hunter is going to be my underdog pick in that 54 car. The guy to stay away from, he was kind of a dart without feathers in this Xfinity race last year. I'm going to go with Brandon Jones on that one. I like the guy, but still, if it's anything like last year. But for my driver to win, I was kind of thinking about this because he did run very well in the fall last year, but he didn't win. He probably should have a few 1.5 mile wins to his name already, but he doesn't, just because either bad luck or whatever. But keep your eye out for Noah Gragson. I think he's going to win the Xfinity race.
All right.
On to Cup. So, my underdog for this one, or just, I guess, guy to look out for, may not necessarily be an underdog. Texas has not come... NASCAR Cup Series has not come to Texas with this package this year, because they ran a 510 horsepower package for the All-Star race. And if we look at the Texas race from last year, I'm going to pull up Racing Reference real quick. Kyle Busch did win that race, but he was long out of the playoffs at that point. And hopefully it does not take 3 or 4 days to finish
say that.
this race. Hopefully.
It's not. Weather's looking fine. Weather's looking fine.
See, I think... He's still... Okay, yeah, he's still in. Okay, so my guy to look out for, my underdog pick for this one, he was running up towards the front before he had, I guess, troubles happened. I'm gonna go with Kevin Harvick as my guy to look out for.
Interesting.
The guy to stay away from, though, I hate to pick on him, but Quinn Houff, he's going to be my guy to stay away from.
No, that's a
Too
little,
early.
That's a little
Too
too
easy.
easy.
That's too easy.
Okay,
Too easy.
Fine. Okay, whatever. I'll.
Okay, so now.
What do you mean, whatever? He's last about every single race.
All right. So if you want one that's not easy to say, fine. Okay. Got to stay away from Corey LaJoy.
All right, we can live with that.
Yeah.
Alright.
He's done good. We'll give him a
We can
pass.
live with that.
You're not gonna crucify me over that one.
Hey, maybe the people
Alright.
in the section will.
That for a driver to win. So he came into the playoffs with a chip on his shoulder. He's already got 2 wins in the playoffs. He finished in 9th when they came here in the fall. Denny Hamlin. He's going to be my driver I picked to win this race.
Very interesting.
Okay.
I like that. Alrighty. Zachary Taylor, you're up next.
Okay.
Don't pick Quinn Houff.
Okay, well, Quinn Houff. Quinn Houff.
Knowing him, he'll pick him to be a winner or something.
Yeah. At one
All
point,
right, if we were
at
at a
one
point-
point,
I just be like,
I feel like-
Garrett. I just feel like y'all are just gonna take that away from me and say, "Oh yeah, my trash pick is Quinn Houff."
dude, I feel like Zachary Taylor would just be high off of Ryan Sieg and say that he'll win.
Well, if we were at a plate track, then I might do that, yes. But we're not at a plate for that. Okay. getting serious here. Alrighty. Driver to stay away from here. I think I'm going to have to take Brandon Jones as my driver to stay away from.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
All right, so he's on board with me for that one.
My dark horse. I'm going to take Daniel Hemrick.
Oh,
It's a good one. I
that
like
is a good one.
Now, my driver,
Alright.
my driver to win. This driver does good on these shaped tracks like Texas, Charlotte. Therefore, I think he can go back to back. I'm taking the Dinger as my driver to win.
Interesting.
Alright. I can fall back.
Can see that.
All right.
Alrighty. Driver to stay away from here. I was debating who I was going to pick for this. And I'm going to pick Quinn. No. my real driver.
Nice.
My real driver to stay away from here. In all seriousness here. I'm picking Joey Logano as a driver to stay away from.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
That.
Hell yeah!
Pulling out the big guns here.
Oh.
Holy jeez.
Hell yeah!
That's one heck of a thing. That's one heck of a prediction.
Wow.
Hell yeah!
My second pick for
I
that
know
was
Wyatt
Ryan
likes that, but
Keselowski.
still, my goodness. Whew.
My other pick for that would have been Ryan Keselowski, but I took Logano. Okay. Dark horse. I want that Kyle Larson.
All right.
How is he a dark?
Alright.
Yeah. All right, you'll see where I'm going.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? How is it dark horse? He won the All-Star race.
Josh, calm down. Calm down.
Okay, driver to win here. Now, I don't know how many NASCAR fans have noticed this trend, but this driver has won the opening playoff round race all the rounds. Therefore, I think Denny Hamlin is going to win and punch his ticket to the championship for.
Oh. That's where he was going. Okay, that's very interesting to.
Alright.
That's probably
That's actually pretty smart. Sean,
No, change that.
you're up next.
all right. Taylor, give me your method first.
Okay, I'm taking notes.
Yeah. All right. First off, the driver to stay away from is actually who our good buddy here, Josh, took as his driver to win. No offense to him, but I got Noah Gragson mainly because there have been some things he's done well. He did well last year in the fall race at Texas, but I just don't know here on this time around. So that's why I got him there. Dark Horse was the guy that beat him in that race last year. Harrison Burns.
Okay. It's not too bad.
So I think he's going to have another good top 10, top 5 race again. Maybe even somewhere up in that. Maybe second or third.
Yeah.
So he might be there. But I'm going for the driver to win. The first driver to punch their ticket to the championship 4. The defending series champion, Austin Cindric.
Ooh, that's a good pick.
That's a good pick indeed.
That's a good one.
By the way,
That's 92.
with Taylor's method, you owe him $61,000.
And
Well,
am I gonna
well,
Oh, his children's
No, I-
children's children are going to be paying off this debt.
Jeez, so
actually, Sean owes me $92,022.
Cup Series. Why you know I'm taking his method? So let's get this started off.
My Discord just went shit. Crap. Ah.
And you laughed at me earlier for that half.
All right,
Nice.
Well, except for you.
the Cup and Voyage. Then here we go.
Oh, here we go. Cup. Go for it, Sean.
Oh boy.
So Dark Horse, I got Chase Elliott. Elliott, I think after what happened to him last week, I think he's gonna have a. I think Texas is a good race for him. So I got Elliott. Driver to stay away from. I got Ryan Blaney.
Oh.
Now, yeah, I keep it in the Penske family. Instead of going Logano, I'll go with Blaney here, and this is kind of the reason why. Blaney hasn't done well on these sorts of tracks. These 1.5 mile tracks, really. So I don't think I'm seeing it too well on him maybe starting a run.
Right.
But the driver to win, I am not joining you guys on that bandwagon with Hamlin. Just forget on that. I'm going for Larson.
By the way,
I'll see it.
the total now is $26,000.
And
How
here-
did it just go from 61,000 to 26?
That's for each method that he's
Add
used.
it,
So,
add-
so
you have to
61,000
add it
plus
on.
26,000.
You have to add it on.
$87,000 right there. All right.
Alright.
All right,
Yeah.
Wyatt, you're up next.
Yep. Like I said, his children,
Alright,
children's
now,
children will be paying off that debt.
I will say this. Taylor, he actually got 2 of mine for the Xfinity Series. I was actually thinking about both of them. Daniel Hemrick is my Daniel Hemrick's my dark horse.
Good one.
Daniel Hemrick's my dark horse. And Brandon Jones, I'm jumping on this band. I don't know what he said because that's my thing that's messing up. I don't know who he said, but I'm jumping on the Brandon Jones bandwagon.
Okay.
I'm jumping on that. And I'm making this a Joe Gibbs Racing slate.
Ooh.
He came out of nowhere beating Noah Gregson. I think he picked him as the dark horse. He's over here. Picked him as the dark horse, but I'm picking him as a winner. I think Harrison Burton. I think Harrison Burton can end up winning that race.
1, 2, 3.
There you go.
And now for the Cup Series.
Or in this case, it'd be 1, 2, 21st or lower.
I'd say okay for the Cup Series.
Quinn Howell.
Dark horse.
Shout out Taylor.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
I said that out loud.
That's amazing.
For
timing,
the Cup
the timing.
Series.
The
me
timing was
think.
perfect, my guy.
Yeah. I'll jump on this, but it's not for what y'all think. I think Denny Hamlin's going to be my dark horse.
Okay, yeah.
Y'all mentioned that he did win every single round in the first, but he's not going to do it again. My driver to stay away from.
Quinn Howell.
This one's. Would you shut up?
My gosh!
Oh yeah, I'll be calm.
Can I mute Elijah? Can I mute him, please?
Go for it.
Please. Go for it.
Taylor, please.
Oh, there it is.
There we go. You may now proceed. Ryan, you may now proceed with
That's amazing.
Alright. After that joke was done, my driver to I didn't pick my stay away, did I?
Yeah, you.
Yeah. Stay away is hard to pick, man. With all the these drivers are, but as much I want to say this for giggles, this is actually a legit like thinking. I actually am backing Taylor up happily. I think Logano's my stay away.
And this is kind of because you don't like Logano, right?
I don't like Logano, but I was actually trying to think of someone else besides Logano, and I can't really think of anyone. Can't really think of it. He hasn't really been. I don't remember the places he finished, but he hasn't really been up there battling for the wins lately in Texas. The only time he did was that strategy last year. That strategy last year that got Austin Dillon the win.
Right.
So, other than that, I haven't really seen him up there. I'm with Taylor. I'm actually with Taylor on this one. But my driver to win. I don't know why y'all think Hamlin's gonna win. It's gonna be Larson punching his ticket to the championship four. I'm agreeing with Sean. It's gonna be Larson, y'all. Larson, you mentioned it before. Larson won the All-Star race.
That Wyatt and Sean have been on the same page. This is historic.
This is historic.
I know, right? I know, right?
I never thought I'd see the day. Pigs have flown, America.
And now here comes Elijah to ruin it all up.
It's my turn.
Well, before we get, it's like you mentioned it before. Larson won the All-Star race. How could you not pick him?
Yeah.
Anyways,
I just
now for
reason I did is because it was a different package and they were flipping the field around like nobody's business.
Well, even then, the first one, Larson was doing dominance, and now we go to the host.
It's my turn. Here we go, man. This is gonna be pretty.
Everyone, run away!
Everything's about to get destroyed here.
So I'm gonna say for my driver to win, I'm taking a different approach. I'm gonna say the guy who got beat out by the cup leech, Mr. Justin Allgaier, is gonna be my driver to win. I'm taking a different approach. My driver to stay away from, man. I want to choose him, but I think he got eliminated, or either that or wait, hang on. Let me check this here. Is he on to the next? Don't say anything. I wonder. I'm just looking.
Wait, who are you talking about? Who are you talking about?
You'll see here in a second.
This is gonna be good.
You'll see in a second.
Is the year gonna be good or bad?
Dang it!
I know, right?
He's not in. Dang it! I was gonna choose.
Who are you talking about?
I was gonna choose Riley Herbst.
He's
He was in.
You forgot he had engine problems and eliminated himself.
I didn't know that because I didn't watch highlights. Anyways, my driver to stay away from is sadly not going to be Riley Herbst for this. Instead, I think I'm just going to jump on the Brandon Jones bandwagon. There's no other bandwagon that's better than the Brandon Jones bandwagon when it comes to driver to stay away from. Dark horse, Daniel Hemrick. Pretty easy right there. You know? Pretty easy right there. And then here we go to Cup. Driver to win. Larson. There's no competing against that. There's no competing against that.
We are perfectly split. Only two different winner picks.
My driver to stay away from. My driver to stay away from. I feel as if it's probably gonna be. This is tough. I'm gonna say, man. Screw it. I'll go Logano. And then
you can tell. I was even trying to figure out something different, but I can't.
And then Dark Horse, Denny Hamlin. This is gonna be my Dark Horse.
Yeah. So basically, you got the same as me.
Basically, pretty much. So that means we're most likely going to get the same amount of points, and you're not going to either gain or I'm not going to either gain or lose to you. Same thing for you to me.
Well, unless Allgaier wins,
Well, that's
because I picked
that's
Kurt.
particularly speaking from Cup, but yeah. But should
You know, from
Allgaier
Cup won't be nothing, but Xfinity it'll just determine.
it will determine. That will be the determining pick right there. Is our driver to win.
I want to. Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. We have come to the conclusion of this show. Any final thoughts before we get the Texas weekend underway?
Who do we think out of these 8 might go to the Final Four?
All right.
I don't think there's really much anything else to do except let's get going.
Alrighty. Josh, Taylor, anything to add on?
Well, not about racing. I don't know when this is going to go up to, but
Friday.
Okay, so by that point, Game 5 of the NLDS will have come to an end. Hopefully, the Dodgers have held the Giants at bay. Go Dodgers.
If not, we can just start doing this. Thumbs down. Thumbs down.
Jeez. Taylor, any final words?
Oh, man. Well, I mean, we could see a lot of different strategies at Texas with everybody competing for the win to try to punch their ticket to Phoenix, or teams that are just out there racing, trying to finish the season on a high note. Texas is going to be wild.
I'll say this actually because I'd feel bad if I didn't end off with something racing, but since I'm going, I'm looking forward to this. I have not been to a 500-mile Texas race since the spring of 2019, so I'm actually looking forward to it. Hopefully, hopefully the 2021 season tickets. Season for the 25th anniversary of Texas Motor Speedway. Hopefully, it ends with a good note.
Oh yeah, everything is big in Texas, that is for sure, and same is probably going to be for the drama and all the racing. But anyways, that's going to do it for episode 38 of the NASCAR Pit Stop Show. I want to thank you guys a lot for watching. If you haven't liked, be sure to give it a like, and if you haven't considered subscribing, I recommend you do so to keep up with some fine content coming out in the near future. That does it for us. On behalf of Josh, Zachary Taylor, Wyatt Walker, Sean Arndt, I'm Elijah Leonard signing out, and we'll see you on the next one.
Woo!
See y'all.
Quinn Houtt's going to win Texas.
Get out of here, Taylor!